What's up, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at Odin Sphere running on a Razer Edge Pro on the PS3 emulator, and then I'll show you guys the settings I use. So you want to use the same version of the emulator that I was using before in all the other videos so far. This is only the demo version of the game because I don't have the full version, unfortunately. I'll show you the settings after, because it seems like every time I try to show you the settings before, I have to start the whole video over. With this game particularly. Alright, so I only speak for gameplay. The gameplay is running pretty well. It runs at 60 frames per second most of the game, and then it switches to 30 frames per second sometimes. Now, I don't know if that's because of the game itself. Remember, the PS3 had a 30 frame per second cap. Or if it's because of incompatibilities with the emulator. Now you're going to hear the sound break up. A lot of games do that. Sound is not 100% implemented. But the point of the gameplay is pretty smooth. You can enjoy it. And you get a little small frame per second drops here or there. But don't take my word for it. Let's take a look. Anyway, when you turn the sound off, you can really enjoy it. If you're playing on a train or something, you just disable sound and you won't get hiccuping. But as it is now, the sound is a little screwed up. But you can still enjoy it. Like I said, it will not drop past 30 frames. No matter how the sound screws up. Sound causes it to hiccup when the sound screws up, but the actual frame per second is smooth. So with the Razer Edge Pro, you can now play this on the go. Anyway, the sound may be screwed up, but the gameplay is still great. And I think what does it is if there's too many enemies on the screen. And it depends on stage. A few dependencies. But when you load the shaders, you won't have this issue much. But for some reason, this game particularly, shader catch glitches it sometimes, and you have to delete the shaders, which kind of sucks. Take a look at the frame per second while we're doing this. I played this on PS3, so I know somewhat of what I'm doing. It also depends on the area and the level. I've never seen it get this low before. Before doing this video, actually. But it's not slow that it's unplayable, but it drops about 10 frames. This is running nearly at 40, 30 to 40. The problem is when it drops down from 60 to anything, it seems like it's a slowdown. Because if you're playing it at 60 frames per second and it slows down to 30, then it's, you know. But you gotta imagine that the PS3 itself had a 30 frames per second cap. But this is just not a solid 30. Now, you can actually make it a solid 30 frames per second by telling it not to use frame limiter. But I wouldn't recommend that, because what happens is then it gets herky-jerky even more. Because now it's trying to keep it under a certain frame per second. It doesn't keep it at a solid, it just keeps it under. I actually never seen it this slow, so I guess maybe I should have did this video on one of the earlier versions of the emulator. There it is, it speeded up again. Every time there's a new version of the emulator, it's a mystery, because sometimes it's going to work better than the last one, and sometimes it's not. Like for instance, this level. So I guess it's level specific, area specific, because this area is playing pretty fast. But you're still getting hiccuping when there's enemies. So I guess there's a lot of things it depends on. When there's nobody here, and then it's playing full speed. Anyway, but you can still really enjoy it, considering it's a PS3 game running on the go. You can play this on the train and everything. I mean, it's pretty good. I believe this Odin Sphere came out on Vita too. I'm not sure, but if it didn't, this might be your only way to play it portably. And if it's on Vita, that's great, but it's a little tiny screen, whereas this one you can have it full screen. Alright guys, oh, let me tell you guys the settings. Did I put the settings? I don't remember if I showed you guys the settings. No, I didn't. So let's show you guys the settings before I finish this off. Everything's the same like the last couple of videos. You want to keep the recompilers on. You can experiment with those if you think it's going to give you better frame per second. You want to enable SPU and automatically load the libraries. And then you're going to go to GPU and leave it at 720p. I have frame limiter off, but it seemed like it was playing better when I had 59 frames per second, which is my last time I played it, and I didn't see so many hiccups. So I would recommend frame limiting it at 60 frames, and then all the rest of these things just check on. Alright, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Many more PS3 games to check out.